Hello everyone, I'm Chef Seis and welcome to my kitchen. So today I'm going to make a pumpkin ice cream. And it's kind of a little bit different. I'm gonna add a different spice and I'll show you what it's about, but it's vegan, so which kind of makes it nice. And we're gonna start with these cashews, which have been soaked in water. Actually, I boil water and add them in there, but you want them soft. So if you look at them, they kind of break apart in your hand. So that's kind of what you want. It's gonna add some texture. We're gonna go right into a blender. So use the blender that you have. We're gonna start with that as the base here and put that in there. I love fall. It's autumn right now, or just about to, and so it's the perfect time for something cold, like a cold dessert, plus a little bit of the pumpkin season is happening. So here's a cup of your favorite non-dairy milk. This happens to be oat milk. We're gonna go to pumpkin. It's about a cup of pumpkin puree. Obviously you can make your own, but I use the can. It's much easier for this purpose. Just put that all in there, okay? And also a rubber spatula to help out with that too. Get everything out there, one of my favorite tools. And then we're gonna add some sweetener, some maple syrup. It's about a quarter cup. Get that all out in there. And then we have some brown sugar as well to sweeten that up even more. Add a little bit of body to that. Okay, spices is a little bit different. You can use pumpkin spice if you like, which is traditional, but I'm using a little bit of 5 spice. It's about a quarter teaspoon, which does have cinnamon, but I'm adding a little more cinnamon and ginger. So you can do your own blend, and I suggest that for everyone, however they like it. If you like less cinnamon, I would back some off if you're gonna use the 5 spice. Salt is always good to pick up the flavor. So we're gonna go about a half teaspoon here. I'm using fine sea salt, and that's gonna dissolve well into there, just right into there. A little bit of vanilla, about a teaspoon and change in there as well. So we're gonna go right there. Here we go. All right, about a teaspoon, and let's do a little bit more, like a half. And then now I'm gonna add a little bit of fat to it. You can use an oil, I'm gonna use coconut oil, but I'm gonna actually, since I need like about 2 to 3 tablespoons, when it's solid like this, I'm just gonna pop it in the microwave for a second and let that melt out. Little tip for everybody there. And then we're gonna add 3 tablespoons or so into there, just to kind of give it some body and a little bit of, you know, that mouth feel, you know, the fat. So that should be good. And that'll help melt it out a little bit. And we'll throw some in there. See, it comes out nice and smooth. So 1, 2. So I'm not doing exactly, but it should be about good. 3. All right, now we got our blender. So use your favorite one that you have. I happen to have a Ninja here that works pretty well. And then we're gonna blend this. So okay, so this is gonna go for a little while. You want it really smooth, unless you want a textured one. But so basically, always scrape down your sides of your blenders, because there's stuff that, you know, flies up and stuff. So you want to make sure it's completely smooth. Take a look at it. I'm gonna run it again. Obviously, you don't want to hear that crazy noise, but just want to give you that little tip, especially when you're blending stuff, because sometimes the way it moves, it's kind of like a tornado, a vortex, and sometimes it doesn't catch everything. So I just wanted to make sure everybody does that. Okay, so blended took a little bit, like at least 3-4 minutes or so, and you know, you could just let it go because you want it nice and smooth. So that's kind of consistency. I tasted it. I always taste everything. It tastes great. And so I'm going to actually add this right into the bowl of this type of ice cream maker. So you freeze the bowl. You have to do it at least overnight. There's like a fluid in there that keeps it nice and cold. When it's not cold, you can hear it sloshing around. I'm going to remove that, and then with the rubber spatula, go right into there, just like that, and fill that. And I've already replaced the blender bottom with the ice cream machine. So it's really simple. What's going to happen is it's going to freeze, obviously, because on the outside it's all frozen. And then as it churns, there's crystals, ice crystals that form, and they're actually aerating and also kind of breaking that those crystals up, those ice crystals, so they redistribute into it for ice cream. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna wipe that up a little bit. Okay, so these are the other pieces of it. As you see, it's frozen there, freezing on the outside. Then we're gonna stick this in there. And there's like actually, you know, you'll know which side because there's actually a divot in there. It sits in there and it's gonna spin and scrape that outside. So we're gonna put it right on the hopper here. Just like that, make sure it fits on there. Lid, it holds it all together. And there's actually a little lock, not a lock, but like, let's see, a little thing. And then spinny, spin, spin. There you go, and then we're gonna churn it until it's right, and then kind of move that around, and that's it. And I'll show you how that looks when it's done. Okay, so you see sometimes you gotta watch it, see it sticks a little bit here, and so you gotta move that around. But as you can see, it's starting to freeze up, which is great, and get nice and creamy. It's aerating, so I just wanna show you that before I'm going to actually put it into another container. and then put it back in the freezer. I'm almost there. It's been about, 15 minutes so far, but it should be good about now. Okay, shutting that off. All right, just take it apart just like this. And you kind of got this, right? So it's turned out very nicely. And then I have a container here. You can use plastic, I have glass. Here, a little Pyrex. It's flat, it'll freeze, I think a little bit quicker that way. Surface area and volume. Get all that stuff off there. It sticks to the blades, and then let me use the lid right here. And you'll see the bulk of this. So after a while, obviously it's frozen, and then it's the power of the cold or the freezer part kind of dies out, so you'll see it's kind of creamy, but it needs to reset. But you've got some air, it's distributed. We'll take all this stuff out, clear that, and then that's gonna go into the freezer. Has to freeze for at least 4 to 6 hours, just to get it set. And that's about it. There's your ice cream, and then we'll show you, I'll scoop it out when it's done. Okay, I just took the ice cream out of the freezer. There it is, in there for about 4 or 6 hours. And then, so ice cream scoop, depending on the weight, so I always dip it in some water, just get it out that way. Just be careful on the size of the container, because sometimes if it's too heavy, it's going to be in a bad spot and fall down all over. So here, make a nice scoop like that. Drop it off like that. There's one. Do one more scoop. How's that? Look at that. And then we'll do one more just like that. Easy. Just like that. This is actually a big scoop like that. And then I have some walnuts here that have been toasted with some salt and some honey. Very light, and just put that on top here. And place those here. I mean, you can make a caramel sauce if you want. Put that on top. I would do that as well. But here we go. We're gonna give this a shot. See how nice and creamy and light it is. Delicious. Give it a shot and let me know what you think. So this is my kitchen, and Chef Seis here, and try the recipe. If you like it, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe.